Okay, so I know that this is listed under my playlist of Caitlin's journey with her braces, and I just kind of wanted to touch on that. I've noticed when I've been looking at videos dealing with what they are going to start my son on, and he didn't start the same day as her. For one, our insurance does cover 50% with no maximum, which I know is like unusual. But with the way that they do it, no matter what, they want $99 down, and then from that, like the estimated amount that the insurance won't pay is divided up, and that your payments, I want to say it's a 12-month deal. I could be wrong. But so what, and he has a cleaning this month, and I knew he had a cleaning come up. So what I was doing is they were talking to me about doing phase 1 and phase 2, and they were really 100% honest and said that if I wanted to wait and do all of his when his adult teeth came in, that I would probably get more bang for my buck. But they did say that if we decide to wait and his bottom jaw doesn't really grow like it should, like she had issues with her jaw not growing when she was younger. And then we got lucky because when we went in the orthodontist office and they posted her pictures up there, I'm like, wait a minute, I hadn't really noticed. She doesn't really have any problems with her teeth, and that's to an untrained eye. And I was just really confused because when she was little, they were like, yeah, she's gonna have to have pretty hefty orthodontic work done. And now she went in there with almost perfect aligned teeth. And in the x-rays, it showed some roots that were a little turned. And that tooth might be a little turned. And then they were showing me like her bite. Everything lines up in the back, like with the hills and valleys as they call it. But like in the front, she's got just a tad bit of an overbite. And they were telling me that if she didn't get braces, that the few teeth that were a little twisted and a little bit of overbite would wear down those teeth quicker than the rest. And that's when you have problems later in life. If I'm sure some of you all know people that have, a tooth or a couple of teeth that have given them problems throughout life. And that's probably why people just assume that it's all just about perfectly straight teeth, and it's not that, because if it was, I highly doubt that they would even put braces on her, to be honest. Any of you that have known her, or dealt with her or seen her or anything, she, even the dentist is like, she has a gorgeous smile. Her teeth, her teeth aren't bad. So he was just like, she'll be on a 18-month treatment. That's it. So she's not going to have braces on for a long time. Now my son, we're going to go ahead and do phase 1. And then what'll happen is, they were talking about an expander, partial braces with springs in the back, and then a retainer for a year, but only at bedtime. Now, I've been going through YouTube trying to find videos, talking about this. I find one of two kinds. It's either kids talking about it, or it is dentists using, like model teeth talking about it. And like, I can show him that, and that answers his questions to a point, but I notice, I'm like, there's not really any parents talking about like what they had to do for their kids while they were going through this, or little things that they found here or there that would help. And I actually found a channel that had an adult that had been through adult braces, and I picked up a lot of things from her that would be beneficial for my daughter and my son as well, as far as like cleanliness, like the water picks and stuff are almost like a must-have with an expander. But I've also noticed most expanders are in the roof of the mouth. I think his is going to go under here. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. They said that this will only be like a 6 to 8 month deal. So I'm guessing he'll have brackets across so many of his adult teeth here. and then, wired back with springs where I guess they can tighten them because he has a really bad, like, really deep overbite. There's actually a name that they use for it, and I can't remember what it's called at this point. But I wanted to do this video for the parents. Now, I was at the orthodontist office, and one of the ladies pulled me aside while they were still dealing with her, and they said, you're going to want to stop on the way home and get ibuprofen and get it in her because she's going to start hurting, and it's going to feel like her teeth are bruised because of the tendons. And then they were like, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Get her lots of ice cream. And, they just acted like she was going to be dying that night. Well, she didn't really have a lot of pain the first night. Some kids do, some kids don't. So don't just assume that your kid is going to be like exactly what they tell you, because I'm telling you right now, the night that she had her braces put on, she ate steak. What did you eat with your steak?
I can't remember, but I remember just cutting my steak into really small pieces.
Yeah, she ate a steak and she just cut it into really small pieces because, when you have braces on, you can't really bite and tear. But yeah, she was eating steak that night, and the next morning she was like, I'm a little sore, but it's not bad. And then it started getting more sore, and it was mostly just in the front, not back here really. And then she started noticing loose teeth, and nobody told us that would happen. I guess common sense would tell you if teeth are going to move, they're probably going to loosen before they move. And I know that, like, the whole point of the retainer after braces is to hold the teeth aligned, until they settle into their pockets, and are non-mobile anymore. But I just didn't think about it. And, she's like, are my teeth supposed to be loose? And I was just like, well, don't wiggle them, whatever you do, because in my mind, I'm seeing her, like, wiggle them and, like, they're hanging there just because the bracket's there. And I was reassured that that's not going to happen. So as a parent dealing with this, my thing is, if you know your child and how they deal with pain, you may have a different experience than what they're going to tell you and then what other people are going to tell you. Because I know I was, like, expecting her to be in quite a bit of pain when she left. And I mean, everybody's like, well, she's broken her nose and she's had reconstructive surgery on her nose, and she didn't, that didn't really faze her. I'm like, yeah, but it's teeth. And I know that, like, that pain is one pain that, like, some people that have really high pain thresholds, as soon as the teeth kick in, that is when, the world stops. So I was, like, terrified that she's going to have horrible pain and then not be able to eat. And it's not been so far what I've seen. And she had some ice cream while, that weekend when she went with her dad. But here, I mean, the worst part is watching her try to eat, like, sandwiches or burgers and stuff, trying to get her to cut them up, or she'll sit and peck at them because it's hard for her to bite into. But now that her teeth don't feel as loose, it's getting easier for her to eat. And then sadly, she has to go on St. Patrick's Day and get them tightened up again. So I'm interested to see if she has the same problems that she had from the first visit, or if things will change as we go along with the treatment. They mentioned bands, but they didn't put them on her then, and then they said something. So I don't know if she's going to get bands. I know she's got the brackets for them, but I don't know if she's going to get bands. I don't know if she's going to need anything else, because the orthodontist doesn't really do everything all at once. But yeah, like I said, my son goes close to the end of this month and gets his teeth cleaned, and as long as he doesn't need any dental work, I'm going to try to see if I can get him in to get started on his when she goes for her tightening, and then let get him in there and get him started. And from what I understand, they'll do the expander and his partial braces in the same sitting. I don't know. I could be wrong. I really hope they don't break it up into a bunch of visits. But the doctor tends to be, you know, if you come in for a consultation and you're told that you have to have full braces, as long as you're ready to pay, they will go ahead and put the full braces on at the consultation. So I don't know if they will do the expander and the braces all at once. I don't know if that's, you know, if they would look at that as being too much to start with or what. So I guess I'll update sometime around St. Patrick's Day with what's going on with him too. He'll have his own little section of this channel at that point where he can make his own videos and updates and stuff too. Because I know with every kid, it's different. These treatments with every kid, with every adult, with every person is going to be different. Everybody is different. So I just kind of wanted to throw this out here. And I was noticing, I was like, there's nothing here for parents. It's all like kids talking to other kids about braces or expanders or doctors using models. And like the doctors using the models for the expanders really doesn't answer a whole lot of questions for me. And to be honest, looking at expanders for my son, knowing that his, I'm pretty sure, is going to be on the bottom, that apparently is like a rare thing that they do, because I have seriously found like not even 5 videos of expanders on the bottom. They've all been on the top. But his top jaw, you know, is what's causing all the problems, and his bottom jaw is not growing. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to continue to let her update people with her progress as she notices things are changing. And then I'm going to let him start his little deal when we go in on the 17th. Hopefully I am able to record her visit on the 17th, and hopefully I'm able to record his. So, you know, people can see, because I am learning that these videos are very helpful to people that don't know. You know, I didn't really know what to expect, and now that she's here, I've actually learned a few tips that I've told her about, cleaning them, because if you've got braces, you know that flossing is like really time consuming. And I found a neat little gadget that's not just a water flosser, but it actually has a attachment that is disposable that is floss, so it flosses and water flosses your teeth at the same time, and they're made for people with braces. So I'm looking into that, because I can get a set that's got 2 of everything, so they can share the machine itself. It's just that and it's the bigger tip, so you don't have to worry about anything touching the inside of their mouth, touching the other ones inside their mouth. But you know, they can change all that. Then all I'll have to do is make sure I keep them in floss cartridges. Anyway, thanks for watching. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. I was going to do a blog on bullying today, but I just cannot get my words to come out correctly for what I wanted to do for that. I guess I need to sit down and write it all out so I have it there, so I don't end up rambling. Anyway, for the parents, if you guys have any questions for me as far as a parent dealing with this, I am happy to answer questions. If you are a kid and you've got questions, direct them towards my daughter. She's got her section, you know, this is her section of my channel. And when there's comments on here, she is typically the one that I will have reply. Sometimes it's some of my friends, and I'll reply for her. But yeah, usually she's the one that reads them and replies. So if you have any questions, let her know, or just comment. And I run the channel, but if I see a comments left for her, then I let her deal with that and respond. It's just easier for me to keep everything here in one place and be a good mom and watch what's being said to her. Sorry if I seem a little overkill to some of you kids. I'm just really... I'm crazy. Bye, guys.